Okay, hey beautiful. So the lights are still not exactly where I want them to be. So I think my daughter says I have to put like a light in the background, so I'm sorry about that. So in the background I have the 963 and the 563. So happy new moon. I wanted our coffee time to be in this beautiful vibration of the new moon. And for those of you that are going to watch this live or replay, however you see fit, because I guess your time is very precious. And so, of course, whenever you possibly can, I'm adding a giveaway to the live for today. And the giveaway is going to be really great because it's going to be not only are you gonna get, sorry, I'm like fixing this. I just made it worse. Okay, I think that's better. So no, and it keeps turning. Oh my god, this is so annoying. I don't know how people do this and they can look at this. Look at it, just turns by itself. It's like a mind of its. Look, it's turning by itself. You see that? It's literally turning by itself. Stay. Okay, now I'm a little bit more to one side. Oh my god, it's so annoying. My god, am I ever gonna get this? Okay, so today's giveaway is open. I'm going to be giving one here live for those that turn up, and I'm going to be giving one in the replay. So you have to comment the hidden message or word or however it is that comes through in this video. So yeah, another thing that I'm doing is for those that want to interact and do frequently asked questions and all that good stuff, you have to be a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber. It can't be a 5-minute subscriber because you want input or whatever. I'm kind of doing this just to make sure I'm being fair to my beautiful supporters and online friends. Okay, so let's talk about today's magic. Okay, so the energy that I want to really focus on during this new moon is on our inner temple. And what I'm talking about is we feel that in order to manifest, we have to go outside of ourselves. We have to do extravagant rituals. We have to get, spiritualists like myself to do rituals for you. And that is all great, like having, a mystic to be able to help you in your life. But I have found in the years that I've been working a lot with clients, this is why I try to only work at a certain span of time with clients, like maybe 6 months, a year. But I notice when I work long term that it like, I feel like the manifesting goes into like a plateau, because I feel like the clients sometimes become maybe attached to the energy, the expectation of, well, Daisy's going to manifest, right? Daisy's doing the work. And I feel like maybe spiritually become like, I don't know, I'm not going to say lazy, but I feel like, so listen to this. So, okay, you know how sometimes we go through like these exercise and we're like in a row and we lose those amazing 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, depending on how much you have to lose, right? I know because my mom talks about this a lot. And then you go into because you're doing this and it's working. And then all of a sudden you hit a plateau. You're doing the same thing, you're working your ass off, and you're like, oh my God, I have not, let go of whatever X amount of weight. So I feel like the same thing happens with our manifesting. I feel like this is working, this is awesome, we're manifesting, and then we kind of like hit this plateau of, and I feel like when my clients get used to me doing all the work and, all the expectations that I take in, they kind of go through a phase of, okay, I did manifest all this. This is amazing. But as a human, we stop to realize, oh my God, I did this. Oh my God, I accomplished this. Oh my God, look at where I am. Because we're always focused on the next, on the what we don't have, on the what we haven't achieved. So when we get into that space, it's very hard for us to manifest because frustration comes in, anger comes in, resentment comes in, then you start feeling guilty, you go into sadness, and then you fall into the shadow energy of depression, right? So how do we get rid of that? Well, I always express it is okay for us to have our off days, sometimes an off week. You know, sometimes it's Mercury retrograde kicking your ass, like beating you up, giving you punches so you can kind of like see everything and realize, okay, this is what I do not want. So let me rearrange things. In yesterday's live, one of the things the spirit shared with us was that this energy of the new moon through the full moon is going to be the Tower card, right? So what is the Tower card? It's an energy where all the pieces start to crumble down so you could rebuild. Think about forest fires. You know, a lot of us, we feel like, oh my God, forest fires, that's so negative. I forgot my coffee. Babe, can you bring my coffee? Coffee time, and I left my coffee. Sorry about that. So, you know, we think that forest fires are bad, and they are, because if you're like have houses, hence the people in California have all of these houses, all of these structures, they keep building and building and building on top of building. And then, you know, the natural way of life was, you know, the forest fires would happen. It would clear away the old, the dead, and sometimes, unfortunately, some of the, you know, of the pretty plants and all that. And then rebuilding would come. It's like kind of was like a cycle. Our world is such a perfect world. You know, the waters flood, we have tsunamis, we have hurricanes, you know, we have all of these natural disasters, hence, which is like a chaos energy. But what it's really doing is cleansing and clearing. So we see it as very negative, shadow work, you know. So, but it's not. It's kind of like the death card, right? It's kind of our next chapter. And, you know, yeah, sometimes it is a conclusion to this life. And, you know, us moving on into the next is inevitable. Inedible? I didn't say that. Inevitable. We're going to come here. We're going to live this life. And then we're going to move into the next. And that is okay. It's kind of the expectation, right? So how do you manifest through this when you hit that plateau? How do you do this? You know? So in my May 16, in my May 16 a scripting class, I created 48 prompts. I touched my computer and it was open. I created 48 prompts. So, you know, during the 6-week class, you are embedded into this beautiful manifesting different exercises that we're going to do to co-create, you know, what it is that you are trying to, you know, create in your life. What are your reality you're trying to shift and all that. And then afterwards, I added the 48 prompts for you to continue on an additional 6 weeks, right? Let me see if I could. So I could bring it up. Scripting prompts. These scripting prompts have like these magnetic words. I don't know if you have ever heard of switch words. So, and I talk about this in the language of money class. So switch words are words that literally switch things on. So if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to manifest cash, if you're trying to work on your relationship, health, whatever it is that you are trying to work on, there are certain words that we use that turn on a switch in our divine DNA to manifest what we're trying to manifest. So in the 48 prompts, I added some switch words for us to really empower ourselves, really manifest the life that we're trying to manifest. And in this coffee time with you guys, I'm going to share with you a powerful script for you to continue on your path and to use. Now, and kind of so you can get a taste of what happens in my scripting class, okay? So in the scripting class, I do videos similar to this where you see me and I kind of express exactly what we're working on, like whatever exercise, whatever energy, whatever it is that this is supposed to be all about, right? I'm sorry, I want to, so I can time my videos. So then there's a video, if it has a workbook, there's a video that's just on the workbook where I share you the workbook, how to use the workbook, the best ways for the workbook to help you manifest, right? And then in the 48 prompts, it's kind of like you just follow the prompt. So today we're going to do something very similar like I do in some of my scripting segments or modules, right? Sometimes the exercises are physical, something physical for you to do. Sometimes it's a writing project. Sometimes it's a meditation. We do meditations in our scripting class. So here we're going to do something that's going to help you kind of jumpstart, because when you hit that plateau, it means that I find that you need a shift. You need to shift something. Something's not working, right? So I created in my Patreon, it's actually pinned, which I talked about yesterday as well, about the 7 powers. So I want to share with you this. Of course, if you go to my Patreon I think starts at $3.33. You get the printable for free. It's part of the Patreon. And it's also on my webpage. There's a class that has this. Now I want to share with you. So here's the prompt. I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. So get your pencils, grab your, let me go grab my coffee. So give me a second because I kind of hollered for it. Nobody listened. I had to go grab my coffee. Everybody forgot my coffee. Okay, so this is just a little part, and I noticed this, but I didn't really notice this until one of my clients said, "Oh my God, Daisy, this is amazing. This really, really works." So I did this, might have been 6 or 7 months ago. Okay, so get ready for this exercise. I said, here, write about what your life looks like right now. Hence, plateau energy. You're not in a great place. You're probably frustrated because, oh my God, all of a sudden you're not manifesting. It says all the flaws, all the experiences, anything you feel. It doesn't have to all be bad. Incorporate the good as well. Hence, that we don't think about the things that, how far we've come, how much. Sometimes we need reminders. For me, since I work so closely with my beautiful angels, and we do this in my scripting class, that's why my classes are not like anybody else's. We work with spirit. We're not just doing prompts. We're not just, we work with spiritual guides. When we do scripting, when we do language of money, when we do anything, even when you come to my channel, we call upon the angels. We call upon the spiritual guides to help us. Because we are not alone. We're meant to live in a community, and in this beautiful kind of like, think of us as a divine tree with so many roots to be able to reach out and connect. Trees do that. Humans are meant to do that as well. It's the stone people that want us to have discord, distance, anger, be divided. We're not like that. That's not part of who we are. So I said, I'm going to repeat it again. It says, here, write about what your life looks like right now. All the flaws, all the experiences, anything you feel. If it doesn't, I wrote, it doesn't have to be all bad. Incorporate the good as well. You can write a journal entry or a Dear Abby style letter. Do what flows to you, and that will be best. Sometimes, and this is like, sometimes when I go through these zones of just kind of purging my energy, sometimes I'll write a letter to somebody. I'll write a letter to God, or write a letter to one of my angels. I'll write a letter to my great grandmother, passed away like 3 years ago. So it all depends on what energy I'm at, how I'm feeling. So once you do that, Here's what I want you to do. Now that you've written your now reality, because you're writing everything that's happening right now, I want you to hear your story, what it sounds like to you, and see how it makes you feel. What emotions rise from reading what you shared about yourself. Now, what I did was I kind of did it. I was really upset. I was really going through it. I was very emotional. I was crying. Like I was a hot mess, right? I couldn't reread it right then. I needed to take a breather. So what I did was I did all that, and then I just kind of like went within and kind of calmed myself and relaxed. And then I reread it. Now, here is the second part of the exercise. Go in front of the mirror and look at yourself and declare with conviction, with with a voice of power, that changes that you will realize, with a voice of power, the changes that you will realize now. Take your story with you and stand in front of the mirror and say, this is no longer my story. I am now in charge. I now create my new story. This is part of my past and therefore holds no power over me. Today I realize and I relinquish all the power of this old story, and I am writing a new one. And then you're going to take this story and you're going to either rip it, go outside in a fire safe place, because if you were like me, you probably wrote like 7 pages, so definitely go to like a fire pit. Don't do this inside of your house. I mean, if you have a fireplace, set fire safety first. Hence, fire safety first. Either burn it, rip it, give it to the land, dump it in the water, whatever really calls to you. That's the exercise. Of course, this is the 7 powers. There's a lot more that we do. This is just a little piece of this grand manifesting. I'm gifting this to you here because you're my subscriber. I want to share this with you because when we hit those plateaus, it's usually something. And like I said, when you're writing, it doesn't have to be all bad, but our life is completely changing constantly through the months. I was listening to a spiritualist on YouTube a few days ago, and they were talking about how our birthdays are New Year, how we really need to make our birthdays so special. Like, this is a day that you set your goals. You see how you do the New Year's resolutions and you're setting your goals in New Year's, and this is how I want my year to look like. Your year actually starts on your birthday. This is why I always feel that there's such a connection with different seasons. Like, I always feel that autumn is a kind of like a New Year type energy, kind of like a time when we're like, letting go of, whatever that year was, and we're walking in, to the newness. But then I don't really feel that the New Year starts till spring. For me, I feel now that we're in 2024, now that we were in April and in May, I now realize we're in 2024. I'm witnessing the new year. But of course, again, it's all about how you feel, your truth, what rings to you. When you do this exercise, you want to be in a place where you're quiet. You see how I have solfeggio music in the background? Is to keep this kind of positive atmosphere. So when you are trying to manifest, when you're trying to co-create, you don't have anybody bugging you, you don't have the telephone on, you don't have TikTok going, it's you and your divine self, and you're really focusing on what you're encountering, what you want to shift and change. And I'm going to share with you another story because that's what I do. So about a year ago, I had a client show up. He was never really a client. He was more like a supporter. And and I talk about him all the time because he has to be one of my, I feel like it was someone that I just couldn't get through to. I just could not get to him. I couldn't touch him. I couldn't help him. I couldn't dig him out of his, and I'm going to say this as harshly, as positively as I can. It's almost like he was in a coffin. He could not see any way out of this coffin. Now, I know how that feels. Because a lot of times people come in like, oh, but you have this and you have that. And first of all, I'm not filthy rich. Yeah, I have this and that and the other, but I've worked really hard to get here. But I've gone through stuff. I've gone through childhood traumas, childhood abuse. I've gone through issues in relationships, hence everything that's happened with my mother-in-law. So it's just a lot of things that happen to us, and we all go through different things, different traumas, different negative aspects of our lives. And I feel like these are all what I talk about, the chaos energy, for us to acknowledge, understand, and find a way of helping whatever that trauma was, as bad as it may have been, to build us into a better person. And also to make the decision, this is not who I am. This trauma, this abuse, this whatever it is not who I am. I'm better, I'm more. So, and I see this, what I'm going to share with you a lot. So, his situation was, I can't pay for, they always cut his light. He's like, they're always cutting my light. They're about to kick me out. I don't make enough money. They want to take my kids. So it's a very dire situation. I mean, thinking about what he's going through, he loves his kids. His, the income that he's getting is not enough to pay for whatever, And I said to him, you have to change your story. You have to find a way of understanding and acknowledging that this is part of your past. Yes, it keeps moving forward because you keep sharing the same story. And then we don't see it until we see it. You guys could come here and listen to it and then turn it off because it doesn't resonate with you because you're not ready for it. I remember when I first started studying Kabbalah in 2007, I didn't understand it until I understood it. I remember when I first read Think and Grow Rich, the first couple of times I didn't understand it. I wasn't ready for it. Autobiography of a yogi, I didn't understand it. I wasn't ready for it. So it's like, as we grow spiritually through the years, we start to unravel into the beings that we're meant to be. And this is why your birthday is so important. Creating these beautiful rituals to do during your new year and setting the goals for that new year and loving yourself enough to understand that you deserve better, that you deserve the lifestyle that you want to create and live. No longer allowing others to make you feel guilty for doing things for yourself, for buying things for yourself, for taking time for yourself. It's, no one owns you. No one. You have free will. You are a free soul to choose what you want to do. If someone is controlling you, you are allowing that. You're allowing that because you could walk away. And hence I had a client who literally her life was in danger and she got away because I helped her through this and she created the courage and decided, I'm getting out. And she did it. Was it easy? No, it took 6 months, but she did it. And she's living in her bliss. And yes, things come up because, what's next? You did this, you accomplished this, okay, next. You're always growing, you're always manifesting, you're always co-creating. But the point is to change the story. So no matter how much I talk to this gentleman, every time his story was the same. I don't have enough money. And I would muse, give him ideas, try doing this, I literally would give him ideas of things that he could try to do in order to manifest some more cash. And then, I started showing him this. I literally took him under my wings, and it got to the point that Spirit said, Daisy, he has to want it. He has to see it. He has to realize it. And he's being stubborn. He's being like the man. I don't know if you've heard the story, and I tell this all the time, about the man that was drowning in the ocean, and he's asking God to save him. And God sent him a boat. No, 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 I'm waiting for God. God's going to save me. God sent him a helicopter. No, 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 I'm waiting for God. God's going to save me. So at the end, he drowns, and when he gets to heaven, he says to God, God, what happened you to save me? He's like, what are you talking? I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. You didn't do anything. You know? We have to take charge. We have to do these exercises. And you know, the spiritual energy and manifestation is so simple. These exercises are so simple, but when you incorporate them and you work on them, they are life changing. And again, this is your choice. It's it's you wanting yourself to be in a space of a new identity, of love, of this is what I want. Like I am in a place now, and don't get me wrong, I have my frustrating moments where I want to tell everybody to fuck off and leave me alone, and it's okay to have those moments. It is okay to wake up those days and be like, today's not the day, people. But also in a realization that we are worth it, that we deserve more, you know? And I used to get very frustrated because if a client didn't pay, then I didn't have money to pay for my mortgage or, you know, to pay my bills, you know, or help my children if my children needed help. So I got to a space where I was doing all of this work, and yeah, it was great to have 6 figures, but at what cost? I wasn't giving myself time. Sometimes I would work 14 hours in one day. I would get up exhausted and still couldn't keep up. And then I couldn't like delegate because that means that I would have to pay someone. So then that was money that I was taking away from this, that, and the other. And when I really, really sat down to look at everything, I was like, oh my God, I'm not, where's my stash? Where's my savings? So I had to learn to delegate. I had to learn to say no. I had to learn to say, you do this and you do this so I could do this. I had to learn to say, today I'm not doing anything. I had to delete 2 phone services because my clients, once they would call me for phone conferences, they had access to my phone number and they didn't care because they needed me. You know, they weren't thinking, oh, I'm going to pay Daisy first. Sometimes they wouldn't pay me. I have a client that owes me $600, never paid, and got the work. So it was very tight. And I'm that type of person. I don't like confrontation. I don't like following people around. So it got to the point that I'm like, I don't want that. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to create content. I want to be able to write my books and be in the classes where that's where I am. That's where I'm creating. That's where I'm guiding and I'm helping. And the people that want it and need it are there and they're receiving it and they're incorporating in their lives and manifesting and shifting. And I'm doing that. And it feels really, really good. And I'm still playing with it because right now my coffee time is at 8 o'clock at night, and live I don't have anyone. So for sure, I'm going to keep my coffee times at an earlier time because um, I get more live clicks and whatever. I tried to do it for at nighttime because I wanted to see, you know, how it would go, you know. So it's testing, and it's, you know, even the moments like today that nobody's here, it's okay. It's not feeling like, you know, I remember that I used to like, I have to do to bring in. And I noticed that when I did this exercise that I showed you guys, and I stood in front of the mirror and I said, and I read it. I'm looking at myself, I'm reading, and I'm crying again because let me tell you, you feel this, people. You feel this. When I declared, this is no longer who I am. This is part of my past. This has nothing to do with me. I am not this person any longer. And then what I did was I ripped it with power, with yucky tears, yucky crying. And I just grabbed those papers and I ran outside and I just threw them everywhere. Everywhere. Just threw them everywhere. Just let them go. Yes, the paper was biodegradable, relax. But it felt so good. It felt so good. And sometimes I burn it. But for me, it was the ripping, because you could still rip it and burn it. But to me, it was the ripping. It was going outside. I was closing my eyes. It was connecting with spirit in the trees and just seeing those papers, seeing the wind just take them everywhere and just completely letting them go and canceling them out and letting go and casting out that ex life that is no longer part of who I am. And it was right after that I got the notification for a new way of streaming, like a side gig for me to stream income that I had no attachment to. Pays my bills. I have plenty of leisure. I have pool days. I have hanging out my granddaughter's days. I have just hanging out me and my daughter, one of my youngest sons, and just it's a new lifestyle. And I still have moments that I'm just like, holy moly, this is amazing. And I'm still trying to co-create more. But I'm witnessing so much. And it feels really, really good to be in this state of realizing, oh my God, I do have the power to shift my reality. So even in the moments where I feel like ass and I just want to tell everybody to fuck off, going back to the wait a minute, I'm in charge. This person's not in charge of me. I'm in charge of me. I love me. I'm going to do me. And I'm going to manifest what I want to manifest, which is going to take us now to the prompt. And with that, let me see where we are. So here, I'm going to share with you the giveaway. So the giveaway, like I said, is you're going to get, nobody's here, so it's going to have to be for the replay. So I guess the giveaway is going to be for the replay. I created, do I have it in front of me? I don't have them in front of me. So I created these altered notebooks, releasing them in my Crafty Grandma Etsy shop for sale. And what we're doing with them is what I talked to you in the last couple of coffee times, which we will have a whole segment on it, which is our 90-day manifesting challenges. So I haven't really prepared. I feel like I want to do that when I have a lot of you guys on my Twitch and Discord, when I start the scripting class, so we could really have like an interactive, because it's going to be a really fun way for you to be able to manifest in this 90 days is you're giving yourself so much time for you to co-create. This is why the 6-week scripting class is so powerful. And if you want to be part, you could pay for it in 2 segments. I have the link below. So if not, you can email me at lovegoddessdaisy@yahoo.com and I will send you all the information. The class starts on May 16. It's available on my webpage, so you can take advantage of that. For those of you that took it before, if you are not there, I'll just re-add you once we start on the 16th, or before. I'll add you, of course, before. If you want to start now, you can start now and like go through the modules and stuff. But it's I'm adding more, so I'm really, really excited about this. I'm actually kind of like what I'm working on this week is adding all of the magic, and the 48 prompts are finally ready, and that's going to be also a scripting journal. So for those of you that can't take the class for whatever reason, you just want to get your hands on the journal and get into that, you can do that as well. So I'm giving enough of leeway for you to start manifesting and co-creating. So in the replay, I'm gifting you the altered journal with the 90-day planner for you to start co-creating. And of course, I'm going to be creating a video on how I use my very own and how you can use it well. You're going to get stickers so you could decorate and, just kind of be very interactive in your planning and goal setting. Because I find for me, planning, goal setting, writing my to-dos, having them in different places, because I have different planners. I have my calendar daily planner where I kind of like put everything, like anything from bills to clients to anything under the sun, I added there. My reading, everything that I do. And then I have like one planner for my manifesting, and I have another for all like my writings, all the different books. Right now I'm working on 4 or 5 books. I think I might keep it to 4 because I don't want to overwhelm myself. And then I also add my what is it called? The things that I manifest. If I'm going out and hanging with my family, I'll add like pictures of us together. So I make it very interactive, very inspirational, to just to keep myself in a state of always manifesting and always high vibing, right? So we're at 35 minutes. Let's do one of the prompts. So this video is giving you guys a lot of interaction to manifest your dream life. Okay. That's crazy. So I feel like since the first exercise, you're kind of like writing everything that's going on right now, the good, the bad, the ugly. And you're taking that and deciding this is no longer part of me. I'm shifting, I'm getting a new life. So I feel like do that part first and then do this prompt, because I feel like this prompt it pairs really nicely with what I'm sharing with you. Now, the prompt is, today I start a new life, my life, the life I deserve. This is what it looks like. So that's the prompt. So you're going to write what this new life looks like. What I recommend is write in present term. So you're writing your beautiful life, even if you don't have the things, as if it's already happening. My secret sauce to scripting is always adding things that you already have. Always adding things that you're grateful for, that you're super happy about, that just make you giddy. Example, one of the things that I'm doing right now that make me super duper happy is that since I'm writing, and sometimes it's really hard for me to write at home, because when I'm home, my husband's calling me every 5 minutes. His mother's screaming in the background because she has Alzheimer's and dementia. So there's a lot of ruckus. Sometimes, believe it or not, I will go to like Starbucks. I'll grab my Chromebook, and I will have it fully charged, and then I will go there and I will use a battery life. Because sometimes if it's a little less, it's fine. But I give myself this timeline of, okay, I could be here for like an hour of just me and writing. And then I don't, I have calls just in case, family calls me because they need me. But I get out of social media. I don't do social media, stuff like that. So let's see. So we will say #new life. So in the comments, #new life, because you are co-creating a new life, and that is the giveaway prompt or the giveaway phrase for you to have this beautiful journal. And you just never know what Spirit will say, because in my last giveaway, we did like a mini reading, and Spirit also sent them Eclipse goodies. So you just never know what Spirit will send you, because Spirit knows who you are and what you're co-creating and what you need. And sometimes, they'll be like, hey, Daisy, this person needs this. So you just never know what, you'll get. I'm giving this away. I'm the Altered Journal with the 90-day manifesting planner for you to set those amazing goals and realize some magic into your life. So I'm excited about all the magic that's happening. Again, if you want to be part of my scripting class, the link for my webpage is below, and there's a lot of freebies in my webpage. There's free shadow work for you to cleanse and clear and just kind of reboot. There's just a lot of interaction and activities for you to manifest. But if you want to be part of the scripting class, it is going to go live on the 16th. It's a relaunch of the class that I started in December of 2023. And the class has a lot of modules, a lot of information, a lot of activities for you to start co-creating and becoming more control of your reality. Thank you all. Now I see that it's best for me to do my 2 to 3 p.m. Florida Eastern time coffee times than so late at night. Plus, it works better for me in the daytime, because at this time you can see me. I'm a little tired. So thank you all for watching. You are amazing. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, because this way you are notified of when I do these lives. And usually I've been doing them now on Wednesdays or Mondays, but I'm going to get into a place where I will post this in our Discord. So Discord is below. That way you see, hey, I'm going to go live tomorrow, or hey, I'm going to go live on Monday. So yes, and eventually I will have a set day and time for you guys to be more on a schedule with me. So thank you all for, Google Hussing and pinning me into your beautiful Pinterest. I send you love and light. Namaste.